Hey everyone, Rarity-here, time for another blind commentary. And today I'm finally looking at more of LittleshyFim's Cinemare sins. It's really been a while and people have been asking for this, so yeah, I thought it was about time to finally oblige them and get to more of this series. Since it is pretty fun and I do like watching it and people like watching my reactions, so yeah, might as well. This time I'm doing the first half of Season 3, The Crystal Empire, Too Many Pinkie Pies, One Bad Apple, Magic Duel, Sleepless in Ponyville, and Wonderbolts Academy. And, yeah, should be pretty interesting. The Crystal Empire, pretty forgettable opener, all things considered. It doesn't do too much outwardly wrong, so I'm not sure what sins there will be. Maybe one for Sombra being underwritten and just overall underdeveloped. But I don't know what else. And, it's not a bad episode, it just is kind of not very memorable as season openers go. Too Many Pinkie Pies, pretty good episode, I enjoy it, though, I mean, the destruction of the Pinkie Pies is pretty unintentionally dark, which I'm sure that'll be worth a sin. And also, just the idea of the plan is kind of flawed, because it could so easily result in them accidentally destroying the real Pinkie Pie, so that's probably worth another sin. One Bad Apple, don't really like that episode much. It's kind of poorly written just in terms of the dialogue. It's kind of got some rather embarrassing dialogue, which might be worth some sins. And, yeah, just the moral of it is kind of, I don't know. It's really heavy-handed with its anti-bullying message that I'm sure that'll be worth a sin too. Magic Duel, I really liked that episode. It was the first time I really enjoyed Trixie, because Ghostbusters was not really my episode. As for sins, things that it does wrong, well, Fluttershy in that episode does legitimately seem like she is a bit shyer and just more reluctant than she should be given the circumstances. Because, I mean, usually Fluttershy, when things are that bad, she'll stand up and do what she has to do pretty much immediately. But here she's really, really reluctant, which, I don't know, it seems kind of off to me. And other than that, I don't know. Can't think of too much. It has a lot of nods to earlier Season 1 episodes, but I don't think that's really sin-worthy. It's just fun fan service. Yeah, not sure. Sleepless in Ponyville, that's a great episode, really love it, and can't think of many sins that it would have. Yeah, actually can't really think of anything, so I'll be curious to see what he finds. I'm sure there are some animation errors or something. Wonderbolts Academy. It's a good episode, not one of my favorites really, but it does progress Wonderbolts, the whole Wonderbolts plot for Rainbow Dash, and yeah, it's fine. It's a pretty good episode. Pinkie is kind of a bit annoying in it, but yeah, maybe that'll be worth a sin, just because she's so unreasonable in the episode. And yeah, not really sure what else there would be. Maybe the whole thing with Lightning Dust, how she sort of talks back to Spitfire, and that would really be completely not the right thing to do in an actual military setting. Yeah, that's probably something that'll get mentioned, though not sure what else. Anyway, that's probably enough said. Let's get this started. Okay. Everything wrong with The Crystal Empire number 1 in 3 minutes or less. Spoilers, duh.
The Crystal Empire?
The Crystal Empire is not actually an empire. Careful, Celestia.
Yeah, it kind of
really
isn't.
Should read that before signing. Blue eyes, yellow eyes.
Oh,
It has returned.
never noticed that
One
before.
has to wonder how many times the word "it" has previously been used out of context. Celestia, it has returned. The Crystal Empire? No, the smell coming from the bathroom. Twilight imitates a pigeon.
Books!
Interplay be like,
That isn't gonna be enough cards.
Few remember it ever existed at all.
Oh,
not
interplay,
even
yeah,
the
I get
script
it.
writers. Slavery. You know, for kids.
And vanished to the ice of the
Yeah.
Arctic North.
Also known as Canada.
but not before he was able to put a curse upon the Empire.
There's no such thing as curses.
Celestia channels dark magic for a pointless 10-second theatrical performance. Rather than prepare for her upcoming trip, Twilight would rather sing about how unprepared she is.
Square root of 546 is 23.36666666.
Overly convenient wind. Here's your nightmare for tonight.
We're going to the Crystal
Yeah.
Empire.
This episode has been brought to you by the My Little Pony Crystal Empire.
Yeah.
A cartoon character's worst enemy is wind. Just look at the surface area of their eyes. Lens flare. Are they gonna do it? They better do it. Yes! I mean, this dumb song again.
My protection spell has been countered by King Sombra.
That happened less than a minute ago. For all he knows, those crystals might fall off with a slight breeze.
Crystal ponies!
This episode has been brought to you by the My Little Pony Crystal Ponies playset. PTSD. You know, for kids. Useless piece of exposition.
King Sombra's spell must be why their coats aren't crystally.
Followed by an utter lack of exposition regarding desired details.
Yes.
This is the equivalent of going to a third world country to perform charity work, but spending the entire time complaining about how much you really want a burger. Pinkie Pie's Fluttershy cosplay.
Oh yeah.
Jump
yeah.
good.
They flew a flag of many hues.
One of
It really is.
Berries.
They must have great dental coverage. Fluttershy is the only one singing, yet every pony's mouth matches her line. Twilight levitates the book without using her horn.
I don't know how I could have done this without you.
Thankfully, you had 3.
Oh.
Shining Armor found a way to
Wow.
repair his horn, but only for 1 shot. Cadence and Shining
Oh,
Armor
I never noticed that
disappear.
shot.
This tree is cut in half. These ponies are walking in place. Meanwhile, these ponies are sliding around. These pies are behind the farthest corner, and therefore must be levitating.
Yeah,
One of these
yeah.
ponies is not a crystal pony. Freaking tourists.
Yeah, Crystal Empire getting
Sombra
tourists
carefully
already.
tore out a specific page and placed the book peacefully back on the shelf.
It's alright, Twilight.
Yeah, that is
Ironic last
kind
words,
of interesting.
cliche. Want to see more of this evil villain who has pretty much only been mentioned via exposition thus far? Too bad. Maybe next time.
Nope.
Brit
nope.
McClip.
Why is... Oh, it's, yeah. Misspelled.
Paper.
Not good when people's names are misspelled in the credits.
Flashcards. I should make some flashcards.
Flashcards.
Flugelhorn. I want a flugelhorn. Who else wants a flugelhorn?
Previously on My Little Pony. Thing.
Always a sin.
LMAO, JK, she's fine. The cliffhanger in the previous episode was just the writers laughing at you for thinking that any pony was actually in danger. Cadence's horn isn't glowing, yet the spell remains. Twilight leaves the castle in search of the Crystal Heart. Then she returns to the castle in search of the Crystal Heart. This is the skywalk to the stadium, which hasn't been constructed yet. These ponies are way too easily excited considering they borrow leisure interests from the Amish. Magic duplicating corn. This is the most interesting barrel this crystal pony has ever seen. Dash had one job, and this is the opposite of it. AJ whispers into Dash's eye. Element of honesty excels at deception.
The best I've had in over 1,000 years.
Yeah, well, no duh, you haven't existed in 1,000 years.
Yeah?
Out of place prolonged wink. The adventure portion of this episode consists of going downstairs, followed by going upstairs,
It
only
does.
to arrive where the episode largely takes place at in the first place. Based on my math, it's only about a 4-minute walk to the bottom. You'd think Bookhorse would be able to figure this out and therefore avoid her panic-induced fall. Enjoying this new villain's riveting dialogue yet? Although hay
There we
birds
go.
are her natural prey, Bookhorse can also catch flies with her tongue.
I'm never going to send you away.
Except for when you want to be sent away, of course. Right-sided lance, left-sided lance. This shot's terrible resolution. Fluttershy gets her rear shoes knocked off, but then they magically reappear.
Oh.
A drunk berry punch seems to have wandered on site. Fluttershy has Dash's cutie mark. Fluttershy's ear disappears. Centrifugal force would render this completely impossible, because everything has been so logical up until this point. As usual, Pinkie messes everything up.
This isn't the Crystal Heart.
This isn't shining armor. Also, this copy-pasted mouth. This is the location of the hidden super powerful relic that protects the Empire, its citizens, and affects all of Equestria? Sombra didn't think a Pegasus might fly up here at some point? Celestia either knew this would happen and wanted to put Twilight through this, or she made up the test at random for no reason whatsoever. Either way, she beat Troll. Fighting armor repaired his horn, at least for a moment. Overly convenient evil crystals. Spike free falls for 20 seconds of screen time and is no more than a few feet from where he fell. This is Cadence's second I'm too tired to continue fake out.
Behold, the Crystal Princess!
Now available at Walmart. They seem pretty happy just to have the Crystal Heart back. What was the point of the Crystal Fair again? This villain wasn't just defeated, he's been physically decimated.
Yeah.
This is one blood effect away from a TV MA rating.
But good things are better when they're a rarity.
Back off, AJ. Bad puns are my job. Letting Spike handle the job was her only choice at the time. Not an act of selflessness deserving of praise. Spike getting hit by a door cliche. I stopped counting sins at this point because I was too busy singing along. My family thinks that's a sin.
Oh, bonus round. Okay. Yeah. Riveting dialogue.
The Empire's under attack.
Oh, wow. The Empire is under attack.
Cherryberry is plotting murder. Twilight conducts dangerous magic experiments out in public.
But I feel lucky this time.
Rather than years of research, Bookhorse admits that her ability is based on luck.
Trying to turn that apple into an orange.
Didn't the show already attempt that? Pinkie's attitude around
yeah, it
something
did.
that appears to be mourning.
We weren't gonna turn her into an orange.
Spike is a page behind in the script. This disappearing plate. Theme.
Oh.
Character finds what they were looking for by mistake cliche. Either Pinkie enters a parallel universe of sorts and forgets everything but a simplified version of her own personality, or she teleports a few steps away from the pool just as she enters it. One implies that Pinkie is later killed off, while the other is extremely contrived. Either way, it's a sin.
Process is doubly fair.
Does this process only work for mayors?
Now off to double my fun.
Remember when fan favorite shoutouts were actually subtle? Suntan with a fur coat. Dash's wings are nowhere to be seen. Leftover animation reference.
Boss, close it up.
Remember when fan favorite shoutouts weren't subtle at all? Pinkie Pie being Pinkie Pie.
Would I lie to me?
Possibly, depending on me's current mental state. These Pinkies have no ears.
Oh.
Pop quiz on the names I taught you.
Yeah, surely those other three don't matter.
The only known photo of a horse
And Grunkle
riding
Stan.
another horse. That's pretty good.
No more Pinkies. I can't take it.
Said the animators upon seeing the storyboards for this episode. This pony is a shapeshifter.
Aha, here it is.
Even Twilight sounds surprised by this plot convenience. Also, in all the
Oh,
time
yeah,
Twilight has lived
I don't
here,
like
and
this,
all the
that-
time she reshelved the books.
That is a
not
big thing.
once was this found?
Yeah.
The legend of the mirror.
That's just silly contrivance.
Pinkie and Twilight are referring to two separate legends.
But we can tell the real Pinkie Pie from all the rest of them.
Perhaps the one with a memory of past events? Wouldn't not remembering best friends' names be a dead giveaway?
But
Yeah.
I'm not talking to any of you Pinkies unless you're the real Pinkie.
That seems a little counterintuitive. Fancy Pants is in Ponyville for some reason. Spike is
Visiting
missing
Rarity,
half his
probably?
spines. Oh look, this Pinkie is behaving how we would expect the real Pinkie to behave in this situation. Surely she's not the real Pinkie,
I can't risk sending the real Pinkie back into the pond.
she said, shortly before risking sending the real Pinkie to the pond.
Yeah.
Twilight just happens
Yeah.
to be passing by the hiding location. Skipping animation.
Are we gonna lose our real Pinkie Pie? I don't think so.
Well, I'm glad she's confident of the situation. Extra nostril. This is horrifying. This could have easily
Yeah.
been the real Pinkie. Merely turning her head would be such an easy mistake to make. Hoof fingers. Has science gone too far?
Probably.
Yes. Yes, it has. Spike is loaned around to any pony that happens to need a letter written. Tom discovers his purpose in life. Twilight and friends suddenly appear on this doorstep.
I could take every pony on a cloud ride.
Every pony being the two present Pegasi who are able to ride clouds, of course.
Well, they could all ride clouds with magic. G3.
ruining our barn race.
Yeah, that barn.
More like the cutie mark crybabies. Hey!
Fame. Sweetie Belle breaks into pieces from the excitement.
Oh.
This pony exits the train without opening the door. Bab's seed always travels with a fog machine. The train magically floats inches above the track. Babs remains blindfolded from the train station through Ponyville, across the farm, into the orchard, and up the clubhouse stairs without issue, apparently.
Apparently,
Scootaloo sits on a splinter. The other side of the barn is visible through the float. Thematically convenient shadow. Babs may have knocked the wheel off, but the structure collapses under its own weight. Babs spared the CMC from riding an unsafe float. Can't tell the adult because reasons, cliche.
I think Babs just went to the dark side.
This table has a dangerous splinter. Scootaloo's pathological fear of apple seeds. Episode becomes a PMV. Episode becomes even more like a PMV by copy-pasting scenes.
Yeah,
Mustaches from a red pencil. If the apple southern stereotype was accurate at all, these trespassers would have been shot by now. These shadows.
That must be what Rarity uses on her emergency.
Oh yes, that
If you
line.
looked up non-joke in the dictionary, you probably wouldn't find anything related to this scene. 60-second kitchen timer. Unless
Nice.
microwave ovens are canon, this is pretty much useless.
And yeah, A-team.
Life hack. Running out of bolts? Just use googly eyes instead. Obligatory
Yeah, that
rest
works.
of the main 6.
Isn't it smashing?
Smashing.
You know, after all the heartache she's been having in Manhattan.
Because it's only right to do wrong to those who haven't been wronged. Right? This house and crowd of ponies are levitating.
I hate pears.
Apple Bloom has Scootaloo and Sweetie Belle's voice. Shoeshine reverts to default pose animation. Scootaloo's wings disappear. Sweetie Belle sets the timer for a minute. 3 minutes, 40 seconds later. Not only is pushing Babs out and hoping she lands in a bush extremely dangerous, but the CMC then remain on the doomed float for no reason at all.
Maybe we'll get our cutie marks and stupidest ideas of all time.
This just in. Non-specific political leader finds tattoos on butt. 12 seconds of screen time passes while the float careens down this hill, but it only takes a few steps for Applejack to walk down. Thanks to the power of math, we can know that this out-of-control float is moving at an extreme 1.5 miles per hour. This float is Pixar. Applejack says the bullying would have been resolved had she been told about it. Then she proceeds to do nothing at all when witnessing said bullying.
So, can we start over?
Sure, once we get out of prison, that is, for motor vehicle tampering with intent to cause an accident. Apple Bloom's tail glitch. Misspelled voice artist name, again.
Yeah, again.
Rarity? No! Twilight?
Wow. Yeah, seems a bit extreme there.
Is the highest level unicorn.
Books appear out of nowhere. Well, that explains why we haven't seen Zecora in a while. Incredibly dangerous and powerful amulet on a simple store shelf for all to see. Nothing like swallowing a flashlight to brighten up that smile. Fame. The crowd's volume is much noisier than it appears.
Yeah.
Asking what is going on while looking in the opposite direction of what is going on, cliche. Rainbow Dash's broken jaw.
Ooh.
She's rainbow wobble now.
It's funny because it's not. Snips and snails disappear. Twilight grows a pair of nostrils on her cheek. Unicorn Master Race takes on all new meaning when you realize that this is their version of a computer screen. Also, expositional magic. Rock defies expectation by not splitting a long crack. Pinkie requires neither nose nor mouth to breathe, or hum for that matter. Guess that Facebook post my mother shared was wrong after all. Recycled animation. Random Trixie piece flies off. Spike cries for help without opening his mouth. Obligatory Wilhelmsen. Apparently, cutie marks change with age. Twilight drops an elderly pony.
Never noticed that.
Not sure which is worse. Pinkie magically has her nose back for a moment. Twilight's shadow is trapped under the dome, but thankfully it slips out just in time. Least qualified character is chosen for secret mission because reasons.
crack under the pressure. I'll snap like a twig.
Tree snaps like a twig, implying whips serve no purpose other than cracking in the air. Resetting cloud animation. This costume either disables Fluttershy's wings, or she had to chop them off in order to fit. Imagine Zecora's struggle had Twilight not immediately understood her needlessly contrived riddle.
From beyond
Yeah.
the forest.
So, Dodge City then.
Ever see one pony play 10 instruments?
Twilight can't count beyond 6. Animators come up with clever solution for using tuba without a mouth, because it would have been downright illogical not to.
I can turn a mare into a stallion.
I don't like where this is going.
I'm supposed to make you writhe in agony.
Writhing in agony. You know, for kids. Applejack isn't looking down in the flashback. Merely levitating a few animals pales in comparison to other magical displays we've seen.
Well, I stole your face.
Oh,
These characters look
Faceless
boring.
Pony.
Surely we'll see them again real soon.
no.
Looks like there was a full moon out tonight after all. Lazy horn glow shaped portal. Recycled mumbling. Do people who obsess over a show's logical canon simply pretend scenes like this don't exist? The answer is yes. Yes, I do.
You kind of have to. Wonder if we will ever see those Saddle Arabia ponies again. Or horses, or whatever they are. Could be interesting.
You must mix your magic and use the 6.
Mix your magic, use the 6.
What's he gonna do with this?
Your magic, use the 6. Use the 6, that's it.
Yeah,
Gonna be heard from.
that would work.
I wanna be heard from.
Lens flare. Recycled scene from season 1. Significant changes include Scootaloo's degrading driving skills and Granny's anti-aging witchcraft. Scootaloo attended the Grand Theft Auto School of Avoiding Pedestrians. Scootaloo appears out of thin air and remains motionless for a few frames. Unrealistic airtime cliche. Theme. This game resembles checkers but abides by no rules. Game piece borrowed from a Ouija board. This isn't your average everyday sadness. This is advanced sadness. Applejack performs pre-hike check long after beginning hike. Saddlebags employ TARDIS technology to contain items larger than the bags themselves. Near perfect shot ruined by lone tree. Floating bushes. Minecraft physics.
Do be a sweetheart and see if you can gather some firewood.
Rainbow Dash channels her past self.
Rainbows, darlings, rainbows.
Good job, Applejack. That's enough kindling to last 5 whole seconds.
Best story you ever heard. Is it about the time when Rarity had wings? Maybe it's the second best story you ever heard.
Out of all the amazing adventures Dash has experienced, this remains number 1, and some fictional campfire story beats out the rest.
That is a great Dash story.
AJ's
Her
masked
performing her
enthusiasm to be away from her
Sonic Rainbow?
senile grandmother. Scootaloo's front right leg pops off.
Is there a bug in here?
Yes, 4.
I
Yeah.
slept like a filly.
Scootaloo is a filly. The word Dash should have used is foal. No pony notices Scootaloo's absence. Before being interrupted by Scoots, Rarity is discussing the use of troughs in public outings. Because what else would a civilized pony like Rarity use? The lack of laws against telekinesis used on others. This cave looks a lot like the cave which the Ursas live in. Scootaloo's wings have vanished, so not too much of a change here, really.
Oh,
Here you go. That's it?
Scootaloo was merely replicating Applejack's firewood criteria. Leave it to Applejack to heckle during a campfire story. Applebloom and AJ randomly change sleeping bags.
oh,
Human-sized sleeping bags for ponies which need half the space. That's right, kids. Corks are totally safe things to insert into one's ears. Luna murders a handicapped horse.
Rainbow Dash said it lives here, in these very woods.
So naturally, the only course of action is to leave the safety of friends and go out into the woods alone. Scootaloo has been scootering through the forest, and this didn't happen long ago. This shot's 2007 YouTube resolution. Deus Ex Rainbow Dash. Luna can communicate with ponies looking at the moon. Celestia can do something much similar, but that tends to be problematic.
yeah, that would
Before
be.
revealing secrets, Rainbow Dash always ensures the sky people aren't watching. This is a touching moment, but
Well, it could be
meanwhile,
some
in another
Pegasi,
part
I
of the
guess.
woods, a frantic search for a lost filly is still ongoing. Applejack's shadow is missing, which implies she's the size of a fly and hovering inches from the camera. Every brony's hopes of seeing Scootaloo actually fly have just been dashed.
I don't think people were displeased with that, though.
By the Headless Horse.
I'm sure. Yeah, lots of... Aww? Wonderbolts Academy.
The whole academy. You'll probably quit after the first day.
Pinkie is absorbing Twilight to consume her energy. How strong is a hoof grip anyway? We're beyond asking how it works, but surely it has some limit. This animation glitch. Fame. This time-traveling pair comes dangerously close to meeting their past selves.
Oh.
This is Midnight Strike. She grew up in Cloudsdale and visited Ponyville. She liked it and started a home there. If this sounds like the introduction of an OC role-playing forum post, that's because it is. Spitfire is either breaking character by joking around and knows full well who Rainbow Dash is, and she saved her life on multiple occasions, or Spitfire has the memory of a goldfish. The show has been having a lot of individual shots with terrible resolution recently. The lack of an inner boundary for this
She knows
track.
who Rainbow is.
Repeating wing bump animation. The Equestria version of spamming F5.
I hear Princess Celestia's got her working on some new spells.
Because nothing fascinates Earth ponies more than new spells. Pinkie's beer belly. Apparently road rash is about as common as gloves in Equestria.
6 seconds?
It may be 6 seconds since release, but we hear Spitfire's stopwatch click 13 seconds ago. This episode sets the Academy record for number of Academy records.
That's an Academy record. And in record time, too. That's an Academy record.
Important looking office and important looking paperwork suddenly becomes less important when you realize that she is signing autographs likely to sell in bulk.
Yeah.
To enter, ma'am.
A bit late for that. This scene won the quietest exclamation while table slamming award.
Got it?
Lightning Dust has Sassaflash's cutie mark.
Lightning Dust and Rainbow Dash found the first flag.
She said to Lightning Dust and Rainbow Dash. Pinkie's leg drops suddenly.
Oh.
Applejack unprofessionally makes eye contact with the camera, which is why she'll never move up as an actor. Trumpet can be heard before it's raised to mouth. This is an imposter. The real Rainbow Dash has magenta eyes.
I can't get around them.
Lightning Dust forgets that she is able to fly while currently doing so.
No, we're so much better than those other guys.
Season 6 had better have a heated debate between Lightning Dust and Starlight Glimmer. Twilight notices
That'd be
something
good.
out of her
I'd like to
peripheral.
see Lightning Dust
Two
again.
identical shots, one being mirrored. Applejack loses her hat, then it magically appears on her head. Academy full of ponies training to be part of an elite rescue team don't immediately jump into action to carry out a basic rescue. Dash is clearly holding this cloud together, so the whole non-Pegasi on a cloud thing isn't a sin. However, needlessly launching them into the air is. Mare gestures as if she had something to say, then she remembers that background ponies aren't allowed to speak. Dash disapproves of time-honored brony tradition. Rainbow Dash is running low on euphemisms for killed.
That nearly demolished my friends. This could have been smashed to pieces. Nearly took out my friends.
Friends who are probably in restricted military airspace without clearance.
Being the best should never come at the expense of our fellow ponies.
But no expense of non-ponies is too great as long as it supports the equine master race.
Wow.
For being the best flyer here and beating our academy record, you are hereby stripped of your rank and suspended from the premises. Come back when you've learned to be mediocre. Lens flare. This episode had drama behind the scenes over OCs being snuck in and later covered up during production. Apparently the fandom isn't alone in having an obsession with OCs, and I'm okay with that, and I'm not okay with that.
So that's what his OC looks like, I guess.
It's a twister!
Yeah, okay. Okay. And what's the stinger on this one going to be?
The Wonderbolts are the fastest, best precision flyers in the world.
Yeah. Ineffectual flight team.
OCs.
Okay. And there we go. Well, yeah, that was a lot of fun. I forget how much fun this series can be. That was really enjoyable. He's just really good at finding all these things, and his delivery, it's just really good, and he goes so fast through all of them, but it's just really entertaining, and spots things I never would have noticed, and I think I say pretty much the same thing at the end of all of these, so it's probably getting pretty tired at this point, but I don't really know if there is much new to say here. It's just a fun series, and I should really do it more often, I think. Though, I mean, if I do it too often, then I'll just catch up and be waiting on it, so don't really see the point. But I will try and do the rest of Season 3 pretty soon, like in a few weeks, since I am pretty eager to at least see the rest of this season. And I do also have to get to the fan work ones eventually. I still haven't done those, so that should be something I do pretty soon. And yeah, just really had fun with this, and looking forward to seeing more of it. Hope you liked the commentary, let me know if you did, and see you in the next one.